S. Lakshana will speak on Gen Z's Chinese whisper of information, the modern day dilution of meaning. Lakshana is a class 10 student whose interests span philosophy, art, science, and the ever evolving world of digital culture. Growing up in an age shaped by screens and social media, she offers an insightful perspective on how online trends influence identity and authenticity. Through her talk, she examines the subtle impact of digital performance and urges us to reflect on being genuine in a world that often rewards appearances over truth. Let's welcome S. Lakshana.
Who even watches movies and TV shows anymore when you have the entire thing recapped on YouTube Shorts? I've had people tell me they've finished entire K-dramas, but their only source of the plot is through 30-second videos with an AI voice narrating over it or through fan edits with spoilers. Would they know what it's like to actually sit through the movie and let the suspense build up? Who knows how many inside jokes and Easter eggs you would have missed? The point is, when something gains traction on social media, it gets watered down. Everyone gets their information in the form of short-form content, especially Gen Z. Nobody does their research anymore, and things lose their importance, turning into a trend or a commodity. I mean, yeah, you could say that, oh, we're Gen Z, we're the unserious generation. We turn everything into a meme. But that's just a coping mechanism to distract us from the crushing weight of reality and the state of the world. But this bad habit of turning everything that comes our way into a trend or an aesthetic with a little pink coquette bows can only get us so far. And there is so much information available to so many people online that we have to make it as dense, simplified, and two-dimensional as possible for the masses to absorb. Today, I'm going to take 3 instances of this, and I'm sure everyone with a screen time of over 5 hours would recognize the following terms. Number 1, the girl's girl. Number 2, the self-help guru. Number 3, the Looksmaxxers. Now, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know what a girl's girl is, let me catch you up. Girl's girl is a buzzword that sparked popularity in 2023. It refers to a woman who uplifts other women, respects female solidarity, and follows girl code, which is basically a set of mutual understandings or ethics between women. Now, this is really creating a safe space and communities for the ladies, and sounds like the sweetest and the most empowering thing, right? It is, until it got watered down into something performative. From being a micro-expression of modern feminism, it got turned into unrealistic standards of friendship. Why hasn't she liked my story yet? Why is she liking and reposting such shady things? She doesn't hype me up as much as my other friends. She's totally jealous of me. And so many things go down because you don't fit this box of the selfless, devoted, unwavering girl's girl. Some people even use this term to describe themselves as an aesthetic, not realizing it's coming from a place of solidarity. They believe closeness is for the sake of formality and meaningless acts are what prove loyalty, not knowing the values and morals that really entail having another girl's back. Performative friendships as a result of getting your entire definition of loyalty from social media is one thing we struggle with. But fear not, for we also seem to struggle with criticism, accountability, and rejection. And one factor I think has a huge role to play in all this is our self-help gurus. Self-help gurus. I'm not talking about the ones, our motivational speakers or therapists. I'm talking about the ones on YouTube and Instagram telling us to be the best version of ourselves, which I'm not saying is a bad thing at all. In fact, it all started in the 2020s as a way for us young people to gain confidence, improve our networking skills in this harsh and competitive world, learn tips and tricks to reach our full potential, and unlearn any toxic behaviors we believe determined our worth. And of course, influencers eventually took advantage of everyone's emotional comfort zones. Self-love, productivity, emotional intelligence, all of those things require the discipline and willingness to get up and learn. But ideas like if they wanted to, they would. Never settle for anybody. If they criticize you, they're jealous, are so much easier to sell because they don't require you to take any great action. You just have to sit back and pretend you're right all the time. You don't have to watch a 20-minute YouTube video or listen to a podcast every single day to be fed this mindset. It's everywhere, from memes to music that makes you go, real, that's so me. Instead of realizing you're kind of self-centered, we're not becoming better versions of ourselves, we're just avoiding our negative traits by portraying them as funny or relatable. I think this would go better if we did it for looks instead of personality. Remind everyone that everybody has flaws and insecurities, and you don't have to take criticism from anyone. You have to embrace your features and be happy as long as you're healthy. But no, for some reason, in terms of looks, it's the exact opposite, actually. Here, folks, I present to you the Looksmaxxers. Now, if you've had the absolute privilege of not knowing what a Looksmaxxer or Looksmaxxing is, again, let me catch you up. It's a social media trend that originated on forums and TikTok. It is targeted primarily at young men, and it involves following a set of skincare routines, workouts, dietary restrictions, and sometimes even cosmetic surgery to improve certain aspects of your appearance, like jawline, facial symmetry, muscularity, etc. Now, I'm not saying this is inherently toxic, right? It is stemming from a place of self-improvement, but some people do take it too far, reminding you that looks are all that matters, showing scores of people's faces and creating insecurities just out of thin air. Now, they say that, bro, it's just a calorie deficit. It's not going to give you an eating disorder. But let me remind you that the silly diet you follow in your teens may manifest as heart failure in your 20s. Okay, the girls, the self-help groups, the gurus, and the Looksmaxxers are just few instances where meaning is diluted and reshaped into something not so fun. It's shallow. It's like we've lost the art of critical thinking skills. In an era where things are just one share away from becoming a trend, and from person to person, everything gets jumbled like Chinese whisper, we drown in information. But let's not let the depth of these topics be turned into bite-sized nothingness. Thank you.